Not to be a downer, but did you know today is known as Blue Monday? Apparently, it's the most depressing day of the year. There are a couple of different reasons, and relationship coach Mike Lindstrom is here to tell us, what is this all about?
You know, this is fabricated. There was a psychologist who did some study, and this guy specializes in seasonal disorders from the Cardiff Institute a few years back, and he said that there's an equation that he came up with that says it factors in time of year, which is, you know, shorter days, so the sunlight's not there, weather, debt since Christmas, people falling off their goals. They call them motivational levels.
Right.
So a lot of people have already fallen off.
Right about now?
Yeah, right about now. It's usually, and by the way, you know, Happy Martin Luther King Day. It has no correlation.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, these 2 days can't be on the same day.
Not even close. They say it's the 3rd January each year.
Okay.
This is the time that most people have fallen off their goals. So this whole next week, depending what study you read, you got to avoid this depression that people are feeling. I think it's a bunch of garbage, but it's something we got to address.
So either way, it happens.
Yeah.
And let's give folks some tips on how to get out of that funk if they are going there. The first tip is focus on what you do have and not what you don't have.
Yeah,
that's good advice.
And that's something that Americans struggle with. We're so beat up in our country, the economy and everything that's going on. We always focus on what we don't have. Grass is always greener, a new job this time of year. So I always say, shift your mind to what you do have.
Right.
You got a lot of great things in your life. You have your health, you have your family. Enjoy that and think about that.
Right, and the next tip is interesting because I feel like teachers used to tell you this when you were little, but it still very much applies. Just write down what your goals are.
That's it.
You say on a weekly basis.
I say every Sunday night, 10 minutes. I do that. I've done that for 10 years. Just take 10 minutes every Sunday night, look at your written goals that you already have, and lay out a game plan for the week. Talk with your spouse. Think about what you want to do with the kids. Think about date night. Things that are going to make you feel good.
And why write them down? Why not just have the goal in your head and do it? But why do you feel like you have to write them down?
The old adage is what's planned is possible, what's written is real. There's been plenty of studies, before my time, that say when you write something down, it's tangible. You have a higher probability of success. So writing stuff down has a big psychology on motivation.
And would you say especially in January, because folks?
Well, yeah, especially this week. If this is not the most depressing week of the year, let's make sure we take extra focus and write stuff down that we feel good about. Right.
And speaking of writing stuff down, calendar something. That's your next.
Yeah, tie something together. You say, you know, I have a goal that you want to lose 10 pounds by Valentine's Day or President's Day. Say that if I lose those 10 pounds, I'm going to go on a weekend trip. You know, tie some kind of a reward to the goal. You have a higher motivation of staying on track.
So positive.
Correct.
Yeah. It's all about writing it down, I guess, because the next one is journaling.
Journaling. And I'm a big fan of, I call this fill up a page. You take one blank page, date it, and you ask yourself a good question. What am I most grateful for? Who loves me in my life? What am I looking forward to? Ask yourself a positively stated question and fill up one page. It takes 10 minutes and it makes you feel so good.
Or put it in your smartphone.
Right, yeah, well, a lot of people are doing it on the iPads anymore. Well, just get it written down. That's important.
It's so funny how writing this down, it just seems so simple. It doesn't seem like it would accomplish a lot, but it really does.
Well, the problem is most people have fears of if I write it down now I have to do it. Or if there's some kind of unconscious fear that they think, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it. So if I write it down now, it's a reality.
Gotcha.
So people push writing stuff down. It is so simple, but if you do it, trust me, it works.
It works. The last one is contribute to others. Obviously, when you help other people, it makes you feel better. So is that the point there? Yeah,
you know, Yetta, I've always found that when people are going through depressing times or they're feeling down, there's a strong correlation there with how much are you contributing to other people. If you're not giving back to your community or your church or your family or reaching out to your family and friends and you're making it all about yourself, chances are you get into that negative emotional state because you're thinking about the things you don't have.
Right.
Just go and give to the community. Go, you know, this weekend, go give yourself to other people that need it.
Yeah.
You walk away and you feel good about yourself.
And another thing to do that's pretty easy when it comes to helping folks out is one of those random acts of kindness.
Random acts of kindness.
You know how you go to the drive-thru and you say, what does that person order behind me? And you just pay for it.
I mean, imagine if you did that once a week. You wrote it down on Sunday night and you said, I'm going to do one random act this week. It fills the gratitude tank. It's so important.
How do you do it? How do you stay so positive?
You know, I do these things. You know, as a coach, it holds me accountable. You know, I've got 30 individual clients I coach at any given time, from, you know, stay-home moms to celebrities and athletes. And, you know, when Dan Lear and I, we're talking in relationships, you know, as I asked Dan and Mike, we're always thinking about what can you do with your relationship. It's not about just being married. It's about the relationships you have around you. And then all of these things contribute to those relationships. So if you do these things, and I tell these things because they've helped me in my own marriage and being a parent. You know, Dan, the same thing. He's married and has kids, and he's a role model in so many ways for me. But I've watched the results in so many people's lives that we've coached. And to be able to do these things and see the results, it's just proof positive for me that why wouldn't I do it?
Yeah, of course. Now, would you say, bottom line, we're getting the wrap right now, would you say bottom line, it's really easy to be happy?
It is. It's a choice, but you have to do something over. You don't just make the decision, you have to do something outside of yourself. Write it down, think about it, go be involved in the community.
I love you.
Great. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you very much,
so
Mike
much,
Lindstrom. Okay, if you want any information about this segment, or if you want to find out more about Mike, you can go to the hotline. The number's on your screen. It's 602-207-3646. Thank you very much for joining us. They're playing Don't Worry, Be Happy. I don't know if
I love it. I love it. I love it. I get that one a lot when I'm on. That's my song.
You do? Yeah, that's a good thing. All right, it is 8:19. You know, we all love coffee.